Alright, so in today's video, we're talking about all things resumes. So to start off, I'm going to show you my resume that I've been using to apply to positions in higher education, and I'll also show you a resume template that you can download right now. So let's start off here at the computer. So at the top here, I've included my name. I've included the city that I'm in. If you're applying for a job that's out of state or you would have to relocate for, you can choose whether or not to put this on. I put my website. It's totally fine if you don't have a website. I put my email address and my phone number. So then I've also put 3 sections here. So I have education, work experience, and equity, diversity, and inclusion experience. So a lot of the jobs that I'm applying to are more focused on what's called DEI work, that diversity, equity, inclusion work, and whether that's in a higher ed position as a music instructor, music professor, or in higher education within a diversity program or Black Music Scholars program. This resume that I'm using kind of has helped to cover all of that, so I adapt it as I see fit. So in the education category, in this one, here's just some examples of what I've put. So in bold, I have the name of the school, I have the years that I've attended, so this ominous dash here just means I'm still in it. So the degree I've put here, right under the name of the school, and then this sort of specialization that I have, which is in trumpet. I put the name of a scholarship that I have, my primary teacher, and the anticipated degree that when I'm going to be done. So there's a few different ways you can do this, but this is just how I've done it here. Depending on the job, you may not want to put your primary teacher. In some cases, obviously, people also just leave that off entirely. Again, this is just one version of a resume that I have. So I've also put, for example, for my master's degree, I've put scholarships and fellowships I received, along with I received an alumni prize, so I've put that here, rather than in an awards or prizes sort of section at the bottom. You just pick or choose what you want to do. And then I've also put, it says on my transcript that I'm proficient in history, keyboard, and musicianship, so I've put that here. And then for my undergrad, I've put, any accolades. I put that I was in the honors college, that I did a study abroad program, and who my primary teacher was. So again, on this side here, you'll put information, and on this side, you'll put the dates. So for work experience, for the second category, I've put the last 4 major jobs in kind of academic settings that I've worked. And so this is more obviously tailored towards an academic position rather than a full-time performing position. So in this one, I've put the last job that I worked, the most recent thing that was new, was working at CalState LA as a trumpet faculty lecturer in the Department of Music. So I put when I did that, and then I also put a description of what I did. So this is really important. So when you're making a resume, if it's something that you've done in the past that you are no longer doing in that role, you would put it in the past tense. So see, if I was still doing this, I would say instructs trumpet lessons and assists students. But instead, because I'm done doing it, I say instructed trumpet lessons and assisted students. So, past tense here. Then I have in another category, a job that I'm still working right now. So some people might choose to put a position that they're still working at the top here, but working at a university in a faculty position was more important for me to put at the top, so I've put that up here. And then I've also put for this one, although I only did it once, I wanted to put in here that I organized a trumpet studio recruitment event. So in doing so, I created the flyers for it and helped to push some of the advertisements out online. So for any position that I would work where I would have to be recruiting people into some sort of position, I wanted to put that I have experience in doing that here. So then, this one some people might not put on there, but I was really passionate about it, so after the protest in 2020, I started an online series. And in doing so, I was talking about issues revolving around DEI work. So in doing so, this was really important for me to put on my resume because even though it's not a job, I never got paid for it. It's an initiative that I took for community work and to be involved in my community in general. So After that, I have a position that I worked at Yale, which was a position working as a research assistant to a professor in the African American Studies department. So some of the jobs I'm applying to as well are Black Music Scholar jobs and jobs in African American Studies department. So I've put that here as well. And then in the last section here, I have equity, diversity, and inclusion experience. So some of these jobs require an EDI or DEI component to them. So since after the protests last year, I started working as a co-chair for the Anti-Racism Action Committee that we have at UCLA in our School of Music. So I thought it would be important to put that on my resume as well. So then if I bump up here to the resume and template that I've created, you can access this. It'll be in the description below, and you can click on that. It'll take you to this folder, and all you have to do is either hit make a copy, and it will add it and look like this to your Google Drive, and then you can start editing it, or you can just hit download and it'll download it to your computer as a Word doc file. So you can open that in Word doc or in Pages. So from here, you'll just fill in your information. So if you have no idea where to start, starting with filling this in would be a great place to kind of start the journey of creating your online portfolio and your resume. So you put your name, you can put your city, your website, email address, phone number, your education. I've kind of outlined what you should put and where. And I'd recommend, if you have at least 3 employers that you've worked for, putting at least 3 on there, and then you can have a miscellaneous section, or you can have, an awards section here and, special skills or certifications. So it's really up to you how you want to make it. I just thought it might be helpful to someone out there to make a video on what my resume looks like as a doctoral student finishing the last year of my degree program, and then to make a template for what you can create and edit yourself. So hope that helps. Cannot talk today. If you like this video, please make sure to like it and to subscribe to my channel to see more content. And in the meantime, I'll see you soon.